We're going to listen to a little Psalms 23, Psalm of David from Yada Yada 7. Give everyone a chance to get notified. Shalom, brother. Muriel, great seeing you. Thank you to all the moderators. Great seeing you, Brother Sly. Kayla Jones, Dorothea Knox, thank you for being here. Thank you, Jose Knox, to you as well. That song right there gets me all hyped up. You know, yes, I was supposed to have gone a couple of times this weekend, but the Most High said no for me to bring out information just as a regular video, because it's very difficult to do that in a live. And it's so much information that needs to come out. And as you can see, we can't wait for the Gentiles to bring this information out. We know that they've been Confederate and hiding all this information. They've been Confederate with hiding who we are, where we come from. They've all been hiding hiding our history. When you know that they're hiding the history, then you got to figure out who are the people that don't have a history anymore. And that would be us. And that's why the Holy Spirit's only sent to us, because the whole world has worked together to hide the original, status of our lands and the original status of our people. And just like I showed in that video yesterday, I put multiple videos up, but when Dave and just like the other Christians will always want to say like, oh, well, the church has been here for 2,000 years. This Hebrew Israelite movement is only 80 years old. Well, that's funny. I said, because when you guys got to these lands, you all worked hand in hand in lockstep to hide the history of these lands. You burned all of our books, or you hid them, buried them. You buried our statues, buried our calendars, among many other things, buried our cities, destroyed our people. So there has to be a remnant of those people still here. The Most High kept a remnant for himself, and he brought us through the fire, and now everything is switching. He brought us through the fire, and now we have a testimony against you. And I always talk about testing the spirit. Talking about, don't look at skin color all the time. Look at the spirit. How do you test the spirit? Just like I tested the spirit of AI. Just said, hey, who are the biblical Israelites? Who are the Israelites that match the curses that were promised to go through in Deuteronomy 28? As quickly as you hear things like, well, it was just a warning. He wasn't really going to do it. That's testing the spirit right there. That's testing the spirit right there. AI is 83 also, exactly. So all you got to start doing is just, hey, show me in the Bible who the real Israelites are. Show me in the Bible where it says that Gentiles have authority over our scriptures. That's testing the spirit, because all you're going to get is, if AI can't figure it out, these people damn sure ain't going to figure it out. If AI has access to all of this information worldwide, and they come up with, oh, well, Deuteronomy 28:68, yeah, that was just a threat. Most High really wasn't going to do that. That was just a threat. See, that's what Esau does. Esau does that to his kids. They make idle threats, but then they don't follow through. Right? But see, for us, they always follow through. They overemphasize the following through part when it comes to dealing with us. Right? So now you're getting more from the Most High and the Holy Spirit. Because all you got to do with these people is they're all superficial, so they can't go any deeper. They want to try to pontificate themselves into, making you think that they know something. But I'm like, well, once you're done just making that word salad, answer my question. Who are the biblical Israelites? Who are the ones that match what went on in the Bible? Because you want to say, oh, no, the African Americans went through the slave trade, but they're not Jewish, or they're not Israelites. Says who? Says you, because you just made up this nation of Israel in 1948. These people that you say were, are supposedly the people of the book, come from Europe. They don't fit the curses. They haven't gone through anything just yet, as far as the curses are concerned. But see, all you guys have done is just set up a people. Now it's very easy to see. You set up Ish in 1948. You set up the Indians, the East Indians in 1949. Right now, you're trying to shove this East Indian woman down our throat as if she's our people. But if I asked her, hey, who are the real Israelites of the Bible? Who are the ones that the Bible is referring to? We already know what she's going to say. And that's testing her spirit too. She's just nothing but a chameleon. Trump, the same thing. It's funny how people are attacking Kamala, but then okay, but she's saying anything about Trump. Neither of them are for our people. They're for one group of Psalms 83 and another group of Psalms 83, but they're not for us. Exactly. The land of Israel wasn't even their first location choice. Exactly. So how is that the Holy Land? They were looking at places in Africa as being where they were going to set things up. So, the information I've been telling you, we're going to talk about that. Look, I was looking at that whole thing with the monkey. I can't pronounce the whole word. I don't have it with me. The monkey or the ape that is native to Central America and used in funerals, but it's they use the same ape all over the world. They use it in Egypt where it's not native. They don't have those types of apes, right? They use it in all different areas, but these apes are, they are here in the Americas, which is again another more proof that our culture went out. Our culture right here in the Americas was the original culture. It would make sense right after the flood that Noah lived 365 years. He established his government here, but then he sent each group out to their blessing, sent them out to their land. So once they got further and further away from the source, they lost knowledge. Not all knowledge was given to everyone anyways. But then they make their forms of worship. They form their own churches. And as you can tell, outside of the source, everything became barbaric. Everything outside of, Turtle Island here got barbaric. That is why once the Most High let them come back to the source, they were aware of the source, but they knew they weren't allowed to come over here. You see what I'm saying? Let's get rid of this idiot. Hold on. So, once they got moved away from the source, they had to, they lost a lot of knowledge and understanding. Just like it is today. You see, our lands were the sources because that's where, there's all these great resources. But so are the people. The people are also the sources. That's why they always want us around. They hate us, but they love us. They hate us so much, but they love us. We're like a drug that they can't get enough of. They can't stand to be without us, but they hate being close to us. And as you can tell right now, it's very evident. I can just feel the spirits when they are around me now. I couldn't really feel them as much now, but I feel them now, just the way that they, look at you, or they don't want to look at you. They don't want to make eye contact with you. Their spirits recognize our spirits. There's a shame, many people now. They think it's just, about slavery. They was very proud before, loving to look at us when we were at the bottom, when the Most High had taken away our knowledge, taken away our understanding. They loved to look at us then. They loved to be looking at us at that time. But see, now that we see you, we see how you lie. We see how you don't want to deal with facts. Now you don't want to make that contact no more. You don't want that eye contact anymore. So they're always trying to get you to shake their hands and look them in the eye so they could try to look down on you because they were on top at that time. Not so much anymore. They don't want that eye contact. They don't want that smoke. They don't want that because their spirits are now being recognized. The veil has been lifted. That's why I said, so when I test spirits, I ask you questions. And I want to see what your response is, because that tells me real quick who you are. And it doesn't matter what color you are. See, you guys are the ones who have devolved everything into color. Yes, color definitely plays a role into it, especially in the past, but now we are mixed, so there are a lot of people They were mixed. Not only were we mixed though, even people who are Israelites have taken the bag and they've walked away from the truth. So I'm going to test your spirit, not just, about your physical appearance, but what's in your spirit. If your spirit is not about this truth, then we can't rock together. We can't roll together. So when I start bringing information about like these apes and how, these different cultures all over the world we're using these apes as part of their funeral processions and things like that, and you get no response back, that's that that the truth is not in these people. Talking about the sisters last night on the video, talking about, walking around in haughtiness and talking about them walking around here with their jewelry, right? The certain jewelry that they wore, they're trendsetters, right? Trendsetters. So that jewelry was prevalent in many different areas of the world, but they knew that it came from the daughters of Zion. The daughters of Zion were here in the Americas. When you read the Bible, they're always trying to make it sound like, when these people were supposed to come from a far distance and take over our people. Oh, that happened in 70 AD. I'm sorry, man. Rome and Israel over there is not a far distance. It's supposed to be a language, coming in a language that you didn't know, that you weren't acquainted with. Well, they spoke the same languages over there. It's talking about when you guys were brought over here. And that is something that none of you want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Something that none of these people want to talk about. Exactly. Not so mixed that we can't run away from being black. But the thing is that not everybody had to suffer the curses the same. There are some people that were just like Stephen and Django, the house niggas, right? They were the ones that loved Massa, and that's the ones that Massa loved to have around him, because Massa was still up here and he knew his place being down here. We wouldn't have been those people. We would have been in the field, as far away from the house as possible, because they couldn't trust us, because we weren't for their turn. Just like right now, we're not for their turn. We're bringing out this information, showing you that when the sisters, were going through things over here also, and that the other nations were, kept separate, kept away from us, right? Our women were and are the pinnacle. But see, it's even the case today. Why is it all of a sudden with voting, everything is about getting the black vote? Why is everything about black people participating? Why they don't go? They've all been talking about like the Latinos being like the larger group, everything else, how they're the future of this, of the parties, they're the future of the voting bloc, this, and that. But do you see them going after the Latinas to vote? Do you see them going after the Latinas to come out here and run their campaigns and everything else? Why is it they're always going after the black vote? If we're such a small percentage of the people, and if the Latinos are growing exponentially and everything else, then why is it so important to get us to participate? Why aren't they going after the Asians? Why aren't they going after the East Indians? There's 1 billion people, so supposedly a whole lot of those here. And so it's like, because this is a spiritual battle. This is a spiritual contest. They don't have swords like we do. See, they talk about the sword to be always got to be the physical. They see everything as a physical, the physical. They need your energy. They know that our women are the bloodline. They're so important, right? That they are the everything to our people. They are the backbone of our people. They are what makes our nation run. So that's why they're so caught up on getting the black women to vote, the black women to participate, because they feel that they're going to be able to, sway us men to follow them, to sway us men to participate. Yeah, you can have those weak ass men, if those are the ones that you're trying to get to go in there and participate in whatever else, just like going to church. It wasn't mostly the men that wanted to go to church. It's the women forcing the men to go to church. She's the one that gets up early and says, hey, everybody, get up, get dressed. We're leaving at this time. And the men are like, I don't want to go. I don't care what you want. get your ass up, and get dressed, we're going to church. See, the women are the ones who are usually in the backgrounds running things, right? So the men, a real man's gonna be like, no, this is what we're gonna do. This is what's going on. This is how things are gonna run. And you know, a good strong man's gonna do that, and the sister's gonna fall in line, and she's going to run things, but she's got to be able to trust a man that's going to be able to do those kinds of things. See, that's the thing with when they came into the truth. Many of these men were like, you know, you're gonna listen to me. You're gonna listen to me. You're gonna do what I said. That's what the Bible says. I said, yes, that's to a point. But you also got to be a man that she can trust to actually serve and to follow behind. And the vast majority of these men aren't like that. Most of these men aren't like that. Okay? Most of these men are very, very weak in this world right now. Most of them, you know, they want the perks of being the man, but they don't want the responsibility of being the man. You know, I said, that's the whole thing. The men are supposed to lead, and a good woman will follow if she has a man that is willing to, you know, that she can trust, is going to put the family first. She's going to lead the family spiritually. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, these are other things that we need to talk about also as a nation, but understand that this truth coming out right now is destroying the other nations. That's why they are trying to attack our women and get them back in with them. Come back to the nation, the strong women. The whole thing, it's talking about the ones that have been awakened. There's a big difference between just because you're black doesn't mean you're in this. Just because you're black doesn't mean you're. There's a lot more to this and a lot more responsibility that goes into this. Okay, so just remember, you know, so we're going to talk about many more things. I'm trying to go live again later on. If not, be looking for more videos because I have so much more information to bring out. Much love, family. Shalom.